Okay. It's gonna start
See,
back
my
up in a
phone is
minute.
cutting off.
Okay.
My phone is cutting off. I'm talking about 7 minutes.
Yeah, I didn't get a chance to.
Consistently.
Okay. All right, we're back on live now. Okay, I'm just gonna reiterate what I said. Now we're in the declarations part. Before I go into the declaration, I just wanted to come and teach on some stuff that we've heard and just try to reiterate the foundation from which we stand. I want to talk about the seven mountain mandate. Okay. Number 1, church and religion. Number 2, education. Number 3, family. Number 4, government. Number 5, media. Number 6, arts. Number 7, business and finance. I'll say that again. The 7 mountain mandate. Number 1, church and religion. Number 2, education. Number 3, family. Number 4, government. Number 5, media. Number 6, arts. And number 7, business and finance. All right, let's go on. The 7 steps that can facilitate the opening of heaven over a person's head. We covered this in chapter 3. There's 7 points, and they have scripture, but I'm just going to give the points. Number 1, you have to be obedient.
Has left the conference.
You have to be obedient, or obedience to the will of God. Number 2, faith in God. Number 3, faithful in your offering and tithes. Number 4, prayers and gifts to the poor. Number 5, sacrifice. Number 6, prayer and fasting. And number 7, applying the blood of the Lamb. All right, I can read that again. Okay. Obedience to the 7 steps that can facilitate the opening of heaven over a person's head and break the silence of God. Number 1, obedience to the will of God. Number 2, faith in God. Number 3, faithful in your offering and tithes. Number 4, prayers and gifts to the poor. Number 5, sacrifice. Number 6, prayer and fasting. Number 7, applying the blood of the Lamb. Now, let me move on to a different subject. Now, when the third heaven opens over a person, a place on a permanent basis, it is called a heavenly portal. Okay? I'll say it again. When the third heaven opens over a place on a permanent basis, it is called a heavenly portal. All right. So we talked about different heavenly portals on Tuesday and last week. Just going to review and reiterate. Amen. Because faith cometh by hearing, hearing by the word of God. So the first place was Bethel, and Bethel was called the house of God and the gate of heaven. Bethel, the house of God and the gate of heaven. All right. Number 2 was Mount Moriah, the mountain of God's provision. Number 2 was Mount Moriah, the mountain of God's provision. Okay. Number 3, Gibeon, the great high place. Gibeon, the great high place. That's number 3. Number 4, Mount Sinai, God's holy mountain. Mount Sinai is number 4, God's holy mountain. Number 5, Jerusalem, the city of God. Jerusalem, the city of God. Jerusalem, the city of God. So those are some heavenly portals. I kind of wanted to read this because this kind of puts things in focus on what God had Jesus to do and what God has us to do. Amen. Along with the declarations. So Isaiah 61:1, the Spirit of the Lord is upon me, because the Lord has anointed me to preach good tidings unto the meek. He has sent me to bind up the brokenhearted and to proclaim liberty to the captives, and the opening of the prison to them that are bound. So that's our mandate. Okay, the Spirit of the Lord, I'll read it again, is upon me, because the Lord hath anointed me to preach good tidings unto the meek. He hath sent me to bind up the brokenhearted and to proclaim liberty to the captives, and the opening of the prison to them that are bound. Now, when you turn over to Luke 4:18, Jesus says that same thing which is prophesied in Isaiah 61. Luke 4:18, the Spirit of the Lord is upon me. He says a little bit different, because he hath anointed me to preach the gospel to the poor. He has sent me to heal the brokenhearted, to preach deliverance to the captives, and recovery of sight to the blind, to set at liberty them that are bruised. Verse 19, to preach the acceptable year of the Lord. I'll read that again. Luke 4:18, the Spirit of the Lord is upon me because he hath anointed me to preach the gospel to the poor. He hath sent me to heal the brokenhearted, to preach deliverance to the captives, and recovery of sight to the blind, to set at liberty them that are bruised. Verse 19, to preach the acceptable year of the Lord. Okay, I just wanted to hit on those new things. We'll read the declarations next Tuesday because of time and technical difficulties. So it's 1 o'clock. I hope you understand. All right, so, but we'll go further in our program. Any prayer requests? Any prayer requests?
Yeah, I pray for myself and my sister who has lost her hearing, and the Lord has brought it back. I'm just believing God, and pray for me to be protected while I dream.
Amen. Praise the Lord. Praise the Lord. Amen. Mike, do you have any prayer requests? I don't know if he's still on. Mike? All right. I don't know what happened. All right. He'll come back on. All right. All right. Let me get this track going. All right. We're going to sing Horns of the Altar and then we're ready. Let's rewind that. Excuse me. Oh, boy. Okay, here we go. Okay. Start again. Jesus care when my heart is pained too deeply for mirth or song. Oh yes, he cares. I know he cares. His heart is touched with my grief. When the days are weary, my heart is dreary, I know. All right, time out. Water I got way over here. All right, hold on, Brother Richard. Turn this off. I'm sorry, Brother Richard. We're having a flooding problem downstairs. You there, Brother Richard?
Yeah, my phone is acting up. My phone is acting up too.
Okay. And this water's all the way over here, so I got to pick up these cords and shut this power off. I gotta go to higher ground. All right, give me a minute.
minute, Brother Rich.
All right, I'm here.
I have to unplug stuff before stuff starts shorting out. It's a little flood down here, so I had to get these wires up. I don't want nobody to get shocked. Oh, boy. Let's see what this. Is it supposed to rain all day? Do you know?
I have no idea.
Yeah, no. Okay. I'm just wondering.